Welcome to Iowa Pagan News, your informative internet radio station catering to all pagans worldwide. We are dedicated to bringing you the very best in music, news, events, and lots of fun stuff. Come tune into our new podcast at www.pldn.podbean.com. Now, here's your host, Lou Silverwolf Williams.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pagan Artist Spotlight on the National Pagan Network. And this morning, I am joined by a new artist I'm getting to know here. And turns out he's basically a really good guy to get to know. And he goes by Mr. E. And he's on the new Red album that's going to be coming out in June. So I wanted to have a chance to sit down and talk with him, let everybody get to know him, and we're going to be listening to a little bit of his music this morning as well. So welcome to the show. Thanks for taking time out.
Hey, thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Not a problem. So now, while we were talking here, now I know that you've been doing quite a bit. I mean, you've been involved in a few different bands over the years, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. As far as the pagan vein goes, Brendana's Dream, Sentinel Grove, and then of course my own four-way, walking into trying to do it on my own. So, but I've played a lot of it in, not necessarily in bands per se. I'm also a backup. I'm like the backup musician for a lot of pagan folks. Marin being one of them, Ginger Ackley. See, I've backed up Beltana Spellsinger, Louis Guru. In fact, Louis and I probably if I was going to say if I was in a band per se, it's probably me and Louis just hanging out more than anything, because he's kind of a brother of mine. And just a lot of folks. I've had the absolute pleasure to play with Mama Gina being another one. Mama Gina actually saw my very first live solo concert firsthand, so that was very special for me. I really, really, really loved that. So,
yeah, I mean, you've mentioned pretty much a lot of the musicians who I know personally, and especially with Sentinel Grove, with you being a part of that, because I actually helped those two get started.
Oh, awesome!
When they were first starting to record their music. They were using just a little MP3 recorder. And I mean, They sent me over the raw tracks, and I worked on them and normalize them out and amplify them a little bit and send them back. And so, yeah, I actually worked with the two ladies to help them get started.
Awesome. Yeah. Good ladies, still friends with them. I missed playing with them a lot. I would love for them to maybe try it again, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I know, because the music that they've got, it was good. And
it was really, really good. Yeah. And it was kind of a funny thing too, because I was in a point in my life where it's like, man, I got to find something to do. Where I live is not a very I wouldn't say it's not a pagan friendly area. It's just not it's not really here. The music that I live in a kind of a rural area, and the music here is, country and rock, that's pretty much it.
Right.
And having the influences I have in my musical taste, literally just one day I was surfing Google, and I don't know how I just happened to come across Sentinel Grove, and I thought, well, and just something in my mind just said, you should reach out to these ladies. They, for some reason, I just got on Facebook. I found them. I typed this message out. I'm like, hey, you guys wouldn't be looking for another drummer, would you? So, and then it just snowballed downhill from there. So
nice.
Great ladies. I view them both as close sisters, and try to keep in touch with them as much as I can. So
good. I'm glad that you do that. And yeah, basically, you said that you've had a chance to play with Lewis and with Mama Gina, Beltana.
Yep.
I mean, you've got a lot of great people that you've had a chance to work with, and there's a lot more out there too to
Oh yeah.
work with.
Yeah. I still keep trying to get Arthur Hines to sit down and throw some dice with me in a role playing game though. That's my one of my goals. So
Cool. Give me just one quick second here.
no problem, sir. Take all the time you need.
All right. Now, so basically, in fact, I just got done talking with Lewis just Monday.
Oh, cool.
To get caught up with him a little bit. I mean, every once in a while he'll send me a new song that he's come up with to have me listen to, and it makes me feel good that people send me their music first to have me
Oh
listen
yeah.
to them, and it's like, it's a big honor to me. It's like
That is. Yeah, absolutely. Now that I know that, I'll have to do the same.
But yeah, I mean, getting to work with people and get to collaborate with our musicians in the community, and it's just like everybody who I've talked to said that it's like being with family.
Yeah, and that's the truth too. Uh, I come from a musical background that has covered a lot of ground,
Mhm.
and I've been in mainstream, I've been in not in underground, I've been in all that, and I've personally performed about every genre of music I think I can think of, but and all that experience and time of doing it, pagan music and pagan musicians and the pagan music community is just like what you said. It's uh, I could literally call up probably any of those people I listed any given time and say, what's going on, how's life, what's happening, here's what I'm working on, what are you working on, blah blah. And that is something you don't really get in other
Right.
pods of musicians and things around. A lot of it, and then we've talked about this in depth within the pagan community of musicians, of the other not the other musicians, but just the other, the mentality of those other musicians is combative. It's like, oh, I got to be the better, I got to be known as the best, or I got to, I got
Right.
to be so popular. And and it's not saying we don't have a few of those in our circle, but it's pretty slim. Most everybody you can reach out to, and they're going to spend a little bit of time talking to you, make you feel like you're just like you're part of the whole thing. So, and
Right.
I love that about pagan music. It's why it's what one of the major things that brought me to it was that camaraderie, and that you know all the musicians help each other. They don't just well, I'm so and so and I can't talk to you. Well, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the unfortunately, that is the attitude that you get with mainstream artists,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate, but that's the reason why I really like um the people that I've come to know over the years, because everybody gets to they try to collaborate with each other
Hmm.
and in some way or another, and then when they happen to cross paths at a concert, I mean, they'll all get up on stage together and play
Oh,
together.
I love that part. Like one of my favorite things in the entire year to look forward to is Bartapalooza at PSG.
Hmm.
Where all the musicians, and it's gotten to the point now where it first started out, it was all just the musicians at PSG that were asked to be at PSG, and I came into it, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years after it started,
Yeah.
and it's now starting to envelop like, oh well, you may not be here as a PSG musician, but we know you're a musician, so come on up, and jump in with us. And I just love that, because I've been on both sides of it. I've been a PSG musician that had to play or didn't have to play, but partook in it. And then I've also been, oh well, that, hey, he's here, get him up here. He plays drums, get him in the back there. Okay, no problem. Um, it's more and more becoming that. It's like if you are a musician, period, and happen to be at that event, you know, you can just jump on with everybody and jam, and it's like it's such a cool freaking thing.
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
You know?
if they know that you're there and that you may not be there to play, but you may not be there to put on a whatever, but they know that you're there. So get up,
Right.
come on.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Yeah, it's a good time indeed. Absolutely.
I love it. Um, okay, so now I know that you're in the process of creating new music for yourself.
Mhm.
In fact, we're going to be listening to one of them here this morning. Um, so now, what was your contribution to the new album?
My contribution to the Red album is a song called "Goddess Help Them," and uh, that came to me. I wrote the entire lyrics for that song that day, and the day being, you know, that the day that they overturned the Roe versus Wade uh, ruling. And the title of the song actually came to me because I was sitting in camp, and the lyrics were, for me, it's like if I get the inspiration, the lyrics start flowing, and if I don't get them down, I'm in trouble because I won't remember them exactly. You know? So I'm sitting there and I'm scribbling away some ideas, and the camp right next to me, there was a conversation going on about the whole situation, and I wasn't really kind of tuned into them. I was more focused on what I was doing, but all of a sudden it's like my ears just kind of locked into what was going on over there. And I heard someone say, "Goddess help them." And I don't know if they were doing like maybe a little ritual. I don't know what was going on, but that term stuck. It's like that's the name of the song, "Goddess help them." So I wrote my song in an aspect of, you know, if like kind of like whenever somebody gets news that's devastating, you know,
Right.
or something that they know is going to be they're going to have to react to, or they're going to have to do something about it. That's the standpoint of what my song reflects. So, and it's been you know, and I've told people in interviews before, I was like, it does reflect the fight, the fight for women's reproductive rights. It also reflects a lot of the fights for everything that we're going through right now, you know. And it's just kind of one of those, you know, got us help them, we're coming, you know, type of thing.
Yeah, I understand that one. Um, yeah, when I first heard about the new album, I was really excited for it because I mean it's been what now um, a few years since the Green Man album came out.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I wasn't present when the panel, because at PSG that day they were having a that morning they had a panel of all the musicians that were there that were asked to be there, and that's where the talk of the Red album started, was there.
mhm.
And but going forward from that, a lot of the, you know, as being someone involved with it, there is a lot of comparison between the two, because we needed a structure, of course, to kind of figure out how to do the Red album.
Mhm.
Um, so we did call on, like, you know, 12th a day and Danny and all those guys would be like, "Hey, what do we do with this? What do we do with this?" You know, type of thing, because they got it all figured out. But yeah, it's been the Green album was amazing in itself, and what it pulled off was just fabulous. So yeah, it was when they were talking about doing the Red album, it was like, well, we want to do this collaborative album, but what should we call it? You know, it's like, we don't know. Well, and then somebody was like, I think it was uh, I can't remember who said it now. This is terrible. My mind is slipping. Give me one second here. I'll find it. Um, it's been a day. Oh, Sydney said, well, we should do the Red album. You know, Red for women's rights and reproductive rights. And I said, well, let's do that. So that's how the Red album came to be. And
Nice.
it's been a absolutely mind-blowing experience to work with these other artists. I mean, these some of these artists that are involved with this album are people that I've looked up to in my career as being a pagan musician. Thought, you know, holy cow! And now I'm on an album with them. This is like, it's a trip. You know, it's like, but all of us coming together for a cause is what it's all about. And it doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. If you are able to help, this is, you know, this is our tool to help push the understanding of what needs to happen. So
Right. Yep. While we were talking offline, basically you said that being a front man now compared to being a musician
a solo artist, yeah.
is been a trip for you as well, which I can fully understand.
Oh yeah. It's been a big learning curve, to say the least.
Nice. Well, hopefully, once you get a bunch of your music going and uh, you've had a chance to really collaborate with a bunch of people, and another one that I know another one that you should get with, and that's Brian.
Oh, Mr. Hanky.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah, we talk everyone. So we have a big chat put together for all the Red Album musicians, you know.
Mhm.
And there's times when all of us will just get off on a subject or get rolling on something, and it's freaking hilarious because he always has some tongue in cheek response to something, and it just cracks me up. But yeah, him and I have conversed several times for sure. So
Yeah, I love talking to Brian because I mean, uh, guy when back when everything was on lockdown and we were having to just do everything online. I was doing an interview with Brian, and he was trying to put together 3 albums all at the same time.
oh my goodness.
I'm like, dude, you're nuts.
Yeah, I think I remember him talking about that actually at one point in the song. It's crazy. I
He's
don't
come
know.
up with so many that he had to get them out on albums, and he was trying to put all 3 together at the same time. I'm like, dude, it's like,
That's Mr. Hanky for you though. He when he goes, he goes. So
uh-huh, that's for
but
sure.
he loves what, you know, and it's a general thing too. You know, it's a lot of what we see in pagan musicians, especially from my point of view, is, you know, you these artists, and I'm the same way, you know, we care so much about what we do, you know, what we put out. It's well, music is magic. I mean, that's really all there is to it, you know. So if you're not careful with what you put out in either direction, you know, it can work for you or work against you. But you can kind of feel that care even in Brian's works. You know, he's such a fabulous guitarist. You know, it some of the things he plays, and I play guitar, and trust me, I'm nowhere near his level. I play enough to just make some noise in the background while I'm trying to get some lyrics out. But you know, you can really kind of feel that connection even in the recorded music of pagan music. You know, you musicians, you get that understanding of what maybe they were feeling or what they were thinking or what the energy is in that song. So another one that I really kind of I easily tune to is SJ Tucker. You know, a lot of her stuff she puts out so artfully crafted. You know, just from a musician's point of view, you look at her work and go, wow, that's mind blowing of what she, you know, just recorded or put out, or, you know, the lyrics you know, how she did the lyrics and how it played and all this and that. These are things I'm trying to aspire to, but we'll
Oh,
see.
yeah, as I say, first time that I got to really meet SJ, uh, that was, oh shoot, that was I think it was 2000 something uh, at Paganicon up in
Oh,
Minneapolis.
I've heard of that event. Yeah.
Yep, and
Yeah.
because at the time I was living up there, and basically they knew that I was a DJ in the community, and they were looking for somebody to keep folks entertained between band sets during the ball. So
Gotcha.
they had me come in, and that was the year that SJ was there, and so was Murphy's Midnight Rounders.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That would have been a great show.
Oh yeah, it was a
Oh
great
wow,
night.
man.
And basically, I was playing music right after Murphy's because SJ was getting ready to go up after them, and basically, I had her out on the dance floor, and after I got done, she came up to me and said, "You realize I got to go out up on stage, and you've got me already worn out." It's like, oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the first time I experienced Miss Tucker was she was performing under the moniker of the Skinny White Chick,
Yep.
and it was at Heartland Pagan Festival in Kansas. And I was actually I was the busiest working musician at that point. I was with a pirate band out of Texas. I was with Rowan Moon with Ginger Ackley, and I was also, I think, just starting to do Brandonna's Dream with my sister there. And then we went to Heartland, and she was performing there, and I fell in love with her right then. I was just like, "You're gonna be, if you keep going with this, you're gonna be awesome." I didn't say that to her, but it was just like, "Oh, she's so cool," and got to hang out with her a little bit there. And then literally throughout the years of just, getting in and out of the pagan music scene, and then going to different festivals, running across her again. The last big interaction that her and I had besides the Red album was PSG with Sentinel Grove. We used to cover a song called Crazy Man Michael. Or excuse me, my bad. We did that one too, but we also did Battle Raven by my friend Kat. Her says Jay and Kat are very close friends also, and she didn't know that I knew Kat. So we whipped it out on stage, and SJ just stops. She's walking by the stage, she just stops, turns, looks at the stage, and says, "Well, it's a small freaking world, ain't it?"
Yeah, that happens quite frequently. But yeah, I've always referred to SJ as my little sister.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. Same. So.
All right. So now the song that we're going to be playing here for everybody. Um, let's see. This one is called Dance. So what was the story behind this one?
Dance was a song that I wrote kind of pre-pagan time, or I should say in between pagan time. And it's basically about a breakup. I mean, I'd say the bottom line, baseline of it is just thoughts that kind of go through people's heads whenever a relationship is ending. So,
Gotcha. All right. This one's called Dance.
Life, I know there's few kept promises. Just wish some mistakes weren't so negative. I really miss the reasons why we stood together. I want to be in your life now more than ever. Perhaps then, if under a different circumstance, we'd have the openness to dance. Desperate hearts in dire need of rescue, with hopes and dreams no longer to be held on to. So many words lie still unspoken, for the pain still stings and I'm unforgiven. Perhaps then, if under a different circumstance, we'd have the openness to dance.
Memories lie shattered on the table. And for you, my dear, the words were still unable. Even though I try to raise my head up high, I still look up and see only rain-soaked skies. Perhaps then, if under any different circumstance, we'd had the openness to dance. I wish you all the joy your soul can handle, that you'll never be without a handhold. The pain in you that forever wants to hide. There's nothing left now but the final goodbyes. Perhaps then, if under a different circumstance, we'd had the openness to dance. The openness to dance. The openness to dance.
Okay, now I gotta admit that was a good song, and it's one that I can actually see you playing with a bunch of others too.
It needs rework. Like I said, I told you before. The two original songs I recorded were probably, I don't know, 5-6 years ago now, and I just had a junky, kind of like with Sentinel Grove. I had a junky little recorder, and I just could plug my guitar in, and I was like, okay, I got these two. I want to get them down because I know I can work on them later.
Mhm.
Just have a working thing. And unfortunately, I didn't get back to them. And then the Red album happened, and I'm like, well, here we go. So now my God Has Helped Them is a completely produced song. I do my produced friend is Chris over in Massachusetts, and him and I worked together on getting that recorded and put down, and then sent to Rob down in Georgia to get it situated. So, and right now Chris is working on remastering Dance and Slowly for me to put on my first solo album, which will hopefully be coming out by the end of this year. So
very cool. Now, are you working on other tracks for that new album too?
I am mostly right now. I've just been writing a lot of lyrics for different ideas that come along. I'm still trying to figure out my guitar and which string goes where. But like I said, I kind of laugh at Danny with Toy Out the Day because he says I'm just a drummer that plays guitar, and it's like, well, crap, so am I. I'm actually a much better percussionist than I am a guitarist. Which I'm trying to write some songs that are just percussion driven that I can put on the song too, because I feel like I'd be not necessarily hard pressed not to, but it's just what I do, So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Danny and Beckham must have had a busy schedule not to be able to contribute to the album this time, but I know they've been on.
They sure have. In fact, they were just at North Texas Irish Festival, which is a festival I used to go to all the time down in Dallas, Texas. Mm-hmm. And I was really happy to see that they'd gotten asked to go there and perform. But I was like, man, I'm going to miss it. That's so terrible, because I would love to have seen them in that setting, because it's a really big festival.
Well, I'm glad that you still got the input from them, and
oh yeah, they still helped out a lot with the Red album. They helped us get the groundwork figured out and kind of the structure of what we needed to do to get it all, started and rolling. And boy, is it rolling! Now it's definitely going. Got We got our GoFundMe up to help alleviate the cost for everybody to participate in it. And I can't remember the dates now. We're going to be releasing it, but it's going to be incredible. I've heard a lot of the songs that are on the album, and they're all just like, oh man, amazing.
That's good. Yeah, because basically when I've seen the list of performers on the that's going to be on this album, it's like, man, they've got a great bunch of people. And
Yeah.
when I got approached by Virginia to do the interviews for everybody, and I'm like, that to me was a big win.
Mm-hmm. That's my sister.
I am very happy to get to do this and contribute what I can to the album. And
well, anything that anybody does is greatly appreciated, and we thank you very much for having us on here to talk about this, because it's it is a big deal, and we're change is hard in this world, and the more that we can do to make change for the positive happen, the better off it's going to be. So
now, besides doing your solo work, I mean, are you still with the band at all, or?
Well, this year I'm doing a lot of work with Marin. She's actually asked me to help with some music with her, so it's not that I'm actually joining a band with her. Her and I had a band with Carrie from Spiral Rhythm called the Misbehavens.
Oh.
And there's always this underlying joke that we might be re-upping the Misbehavens, but we're just kind of, I don't know, it's just goofiness. But I'm doing some work with Marin, and I'm supposed well, I don't know if I can say anything about that or not. I better not. But anyway, there is some stuff going on. I just don't know what I can talk about at the moment.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
the one thing I can talk about is my solo career, which I'm trying to get going. So that's that's pretty much all going. So yes, there is some band stuff in the works. There is one band. The Tribe of Truth project that I'm working on, and that is if you know my history at all, Tribe of Truth, you're probably rolling your eyes and laughing at the moment. But the Tribe of Truth project is actually a conglomerate of musicians that I have known for a million years. And they're also part of a vending co-op called the Grand Obtruse Bazaar. And so our goal is to vend and perform and put out music. So, but it's more like it's pagan, but it's also like funk and grooves and techno and blah blah blah. I mean, it's all over the place. It's just good feel good time music. So
cool. So what originally got you brought into the pagan scene?
That's a good question. Well, I chose the pagan path when I was in my late teens. I come from a family that is not, I shouldn't say they're not religious, but they're not hardcore religious. As a matter of fact, I've told this story on another interview where I said we were talking about religion in school one day in junior high school. And I came home and I said, "Hey mom, what religion are we?" And she literally looked at me and went, Christian. Like I had to think about it too. Hang on a minute, I'm not sure. But basically the only time we saw churches, anytime we were inside a church, it was a funeral or a wedding. We never just got up on a Sunday morning and went. But that, and including I grew up in a very haunted house growing up. It wasn't hard for me to kind of go down that path and start to understand there was something else going on. And then I started researching and looking and found the pagan paths of different kinds and said, "Oh, this is interesting. I'll check this out." And then finally settling on Celtic shamanism and Druidism as my main path. So, but as far as pagan music goes, I never even knew it existed until I met Ginger Ackley. and her and I have a very long history together. She was living in Texas at the time, and I had met her through mutual friends in the Renaissance fairs. I was a Rennie for a long time too.
Cool.
So, but her and I were doing music together under Rowan Moon, which I think she just redid Rowan Moon. She's in Ohio now, and I think she's got them up and running again.
Yep.
But unfortunately, I'm not part of it. But I said, "What the heck, sis?" You know? But started off with that, so that got me started into it, and then I went from that into Brendona's Dream, and not many folks know about that one, but that one was a big pagan push band down there that I started to experience more like pagan festivals and things like that. And the first pagan festival I ever went to was Heartland with Ginger and other members of the Tribe of Truth Project, and that blew my mind had to know that there was a gathering of people that you could just kind of talk about whatever,
Yeah. Eventually, I plan to get down to Heartland, and hopefully 3 Gates gathering will be starting back up again here.
I hope so. Yeah, I haven't been to that one yet, but I've heard a lot about it, and I'd like to check it out. Starwood's another one I haven't been to that I'd like to get to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Brian has been pushing me to go up to Starwood. So
yep.
He's
talking to me about it too.
Yeah, one of these days I'll get up there.
Yeah. I almost made it last year because I almost just said the heck with it and left, and it was only like a week between it and after PSG. And I was Beltana was trying to kind of twist my arm behind my back. She goes, "Come on, you gotta go to Starwood, you gotta go." And I'm like, I'll try, and I just couldn't work it out. But I wished I would have went though, because from what I understand, last year Starwood was amazing. So
another group that hopefully you'll have a chance to either collaborate with or just get to listen to, and that's Ginger's neighbor, Susan Balashek.
Oh yeah, Susan. Yeah, I've talked to her. We've talked back and forth in the Red album chat a little bit. So yeah, I'm happy to do so. I love working with people. And that's the one reason I love the pagan musicians is everybody kind of wants to work with everybody.
Right.
As you know, last year at PSG, of course, that was the first PSG after all the shutdown. And it was. Yeah. You talk about chaos energy. It was crazy, but I came to PSG that year because I was backing up Lewis, and then the weeks prior to the event, Lewis was like, "Well, hey, Krista's going to be there. Krista Chapman Green, she wants you to play with her." Okay, yeah. And then, well, Beltana wants you to play with her. Okay, no problem. Well, Wendy Rule wants you to play with her. Well, okay, sure. So I'm like. And I didn't come to PSG to be a musician. I came to PSG to come to PSG that year, right? Like I wasn't even going to bring my drums. I wasn't going to bring nothing. But I'm like, well, if I don't bring my drums, I know I'll hate it because I like to sometimes sit and play drums just with everybody. But that year I literally played drums with everybody, and but it was getting back into that groove, right? I mean, we had the shutdown, and everybody was just like, we got to play, let's go play. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
And it was, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was the greatest experience. I even fell asleep during Krista's set, which was embarrassing. And I apologized to her about it immensely because it was, it was just a rough day that day. So.
Understandable. Now, hopefully you'll be able to do some collaboration with folks on your album that you're coming up with, and
oh yeah, I'm gonna pull some folks in and say, okay, you do this. Lewis, yeah, I'm warning you right now, Lewis. You're probably gonna be, visiting pretty soon.
He'll enjoy it. He'll
definitely
enjoy it.
I'm not sure if I'll go to him or he'll come to me, but either way, we'll figure it out.
Cool. All right, man. Well, this has been a really good talk, and I'm looking forward to hearing more and keeping up to date of what's going on, and hopefully we'll be able to cross paths down the road.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to keep you in the loop on things for sure.
Excellent. Now, let's see. So basically, in case people are wanting to know, you do have a Mr. E's music page on
Yes.
Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you've got your own website as well, which is this one here.
Yep. Linktree. Yep.
The Linktree page for Enormous Tree.
Yeah, the E stands for enormous. It was a nickname given to me decades ago in Texas by the guy that I learned to make didgeridoos from. So
Excellent. Are you planning on doing anything on Bandcamp?
Yes. At some point here, hopefully in the near future, I will have that up and running. Knock on wood, as I can get it going. So
Excellent.
As I tell everybody, I am starting my own solo career. It's taking me some time to figure everything out. So
yeah, because we were talking before we came on live here. We were talking that it's been a big transition for him from going from being just a member of the band to being the front man now. Is like it's definitely it can definitely be challenging. So
it sure is, yeah. But it's worth it. Like I said, it's just a good time.
Cool.
I saw the Humors of Whiskey go across the bottom there. That's my Celtic band with my friend Marnie down in Missouri. So,
oh, nice. Okay, so now, best way for people to reach out to you directly for questions or whatnot. How do they go about doing that? Would that be through the Facebook page?
You can get through me through the Facebook page, either my personal page or the music page. You can do that, or you can email me directly at. Let me find the email again because it's brand new too. The Mr. E Music Mail at gmail.com.
Okay, so Mr. E Music Mail at Gmail.
The Mr. E Music Mail at gmail.com. Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, somebody already had Mr. E Music, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you'd be surprised you'd come up with something that you wouldn't think anybody else would even come up with.
Right.
And it's like wrong. It's like,
nope, somebody did that. You can also reach me through Mr. E's Vending too. I have a page for my vending business as well. So
excellent. All right. Well, like I said, this has been a real good talk with you, and I look forward to hearing updates and keeping in touch.
Absolutely. Will do, sir. It was great speaking to you and had a good time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And as usual, folks, this has been National Pagan Network and the Pagan Artist Spotlight. Now, if you have questions for me later on, you can reach me at earl@iapnradio.net or else iowapagannews@gmail. I always love getting emails from people. You can also reach me through Facebook directly under Earl Silverwolf Williams, and I'd be more than happy to take the time to chat with you. If you have questions about what is going to be happening here, you're going to see regular announcements come through on the business page for NPN and also the new Pagan Artist Spotlight page, which has taken the place of Iowa Pagan News. So be sure to keep up to date on with the business pages, and we will be seeing you again tomorrow for another great interview with Alexian, and that's going to be a real good interview. And then right after, I've got another interview scheduled with Brandy Coker McGee, who is a bone thrower. So that is going to be another interesting, because she is actually the protege to Atalanta, who is a big time bone thrower. So I'm looking forward to this interview coming up with her. So stay tuned for more information on that. In the meantime, pleasant journeys. Have a great rest of your week and a good weekend coming up. And we'll be seeing you again here shortly. Have a great day, all. And we're going to be out of here for the night.
Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. All shows are recorded and available for download at plrdn.podbean.com. All rights are reserved and may not be replayed without written permission by IAPN Radio Management. Come join us at our new group, IAPN Radio on Facebook, where you can be kept up to date for future broadcasts. Pleasant journeys, everyone.